وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ. I told you the questions were, who were the people of the cave, who was Dhul Qarnayn. But يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ, they are asking you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about Dhul Qarnayn. Dhul Qarnayn, first of all, must understood, Qarn means a horn. Qarnayn, two horns. The person having two horns, who was he? Actually, he was Cyrus, Kahf. He was the king of Persia. Before him, Persia was divided into two kingdoms, Paras and Media. But when he rose to power, he joined them together. And he was the actually founder of the great Iranian empire, whose 2,500 years anniversary was, you remember the Jashan, which the king, emperor of Iran, I think about 20 years back, the big ceremony was held. 2,500 years had passed. And he was the founder of the great Iranian kingdom, empire, and he was the founding emperor. He then attacked Babylonia. Babylonia is Iraq. West of Iran is Iraq. And Babylonia, there were the Jews who were in captivity. Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylonia, who had destroyed the second temple in Jerusalem in the year 587 before Christ. I gave that history last night. Now these things are coming together. So now these people, when Cyrus captured Babylonia, he allowed these Jews to go back to Jerusalem, and they can go and they can have their temple again, build their temple. So these people knew him. And because he had joined two kingdoms to make one, in his, Taj? In his crown, he fixed two horns. So to represent two kingdoms becoming one. So he is Dhul Qarnayn. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ قُلْ سَأَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْهُ ذِكْرًا. Say to them, okay, I'm going to narrate some of his events to you. إِنَّا مَكَّنَّا لَهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. We had established him in the land, in the earth. He was a big king. وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ سَبَبًا. And we have given means to him for everything. فَأَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. So he launched an expedition, conquest towards the west. حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغَ مَغْرِبَ الشَّمْسِ. So much so that when he reached the place where the sun was setting, this coast of Mediterranean, when he reached there, now in front of him was the ocean, Mediterranean Sea. And when you stand on the coast, you think that the sun is going down in the sea. When he reached there, وَجَدَهَا تَغْرَبُ فِي عَيْنٍ حَمِيَةٍ. He found that the sun is setting in black, muddy water. وَوَجَدَ عِنْدَهَا قَوْمًا. And there he found a nation. He conquered them. قُلْنَا يَا ذُو الْقَرْنَيْنِ. We said, O Dhul Qarnayn, إِمَّا أَن تُعَذِّبَ. Now you have the authority. You can chastise them if you like. وَإِمَّا أَن تَتَّخِذَ فِيهِمْ حُسْنًا. Or if you like, you can do good to them. You can be kind to them. You have conquered them, but you can be kind to them. قَالَ, he said, أَمَّا مَنْ ظَلَمَ فَسَوْفَ نُعَذِّبُهُ. Whosoever does evil, so we should also chastise him. ثُمَّ يُرَدُّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِ. And then he will be returned to his Lord. فَيُعَذِّبُهُ عَذَابًا نُكْرًا. And he will chastise him in the worst form of azab. وَأَمَّا مَنْ آمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. As for those who believe and they do good deeds, فَلَهُ جَزَاءً الْحُسْنَى. His good reward is secure with his Lord. وَسَنَقُولُ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِنَا يُسْرًا. And we also will be lenient to them in our affairs. ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. Now this character is of a very pious person, as if he was a prophet. They say that actually he was a follower of Zoroaster, and he was a Nabi. Maybe. It's just possible, but it is not mentioned in Quran. But he was under training with him, and he, as we find here, as if he is one of the prophets, just like Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. The character is absolutely parallel. ثم أتبع سببا. Then he prepared for another expedition. حتى إذا بلغ مطلع الشمس. When he reached the place where the sun rises, وجدها تطلع على قوم. He found it is rising on a nation, على قوم لم نجعل لهم من دونها سترا, for whom we had appointed no shelter. They say that this expedition of Dhul Qarnayn was towards Makran, this Balochistan area. And there the people were so low, uncivilized, that they didn't know how to make roofs. Their houses were only walls separating each other's house, that's all. No roof. So they had no shelter from the sun. Kazalik. This is what happened. وَقَدْ أَحَطْنَا بِمَا لَدَيْهِ خُبْرًا. And indeed, we have all the knowledge that happened over there. What it means? We are not giving you the details. Now comes the third. ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. Then again he prepared an expedition. It was towards the north. حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغَ بَيْنَ الصَّدَّيْنِ. Until when he reached between the two barriers of mountains, he found وَجَدَ مِن دُونِهِمَا. He found on this side of these mountains a nation, common, لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ قَوْلًا. They were not able to understand anything. Now this is the place between two seas. The Black Sea in the west and the Caspian Sea on the east. In between them is the Caucasia. This area, mountainous area, also this, Chechnya is also a part of it. Now here are mountains and two, walls of mountains. And there is a way, a broad dara, we will call it. So people from the north, Gog and Magog, used to come through this and attack here and looted them, plundered them, and then used to run back. So these people here, they said to Dhul Qarnayn, قالوا يا ذا القرنين. They said, O Dhul Qarnayn, إن ياجوج وماجوج مفسدون في الأرض. Surely Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, they are from the progeny of Hazrat Yafis alayhi salatu wasalam. I told you 3 sons of Nuh, Sam, Ham, Yafis, Shem, Ham, Yafith. And this is the progeny. Beyond the central mountainous regions of Asia, north of it, towards east and west both, this is the area where the progeny of Yafis alayhi salatu wasalam settled. So they are also, and the sons, the name of the sons of Yafis are given in Bible, Torah, and they include Gog and Magog. They create mischief in the land. وَهَلْ نَجْعَلُ لَكَ خَرْجًا. So should we assign for you some tribute, عَلَىٰ أَن تَجْعَلَ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَهُمْ صَدًّا, on this, that you erect between them and us a barrier, so that they can't cross, this pass between the two mountains. They come through this pass and attack us, and plunder us, and kill us, and then run back. So if you can somehow fill this gap, and put a barrier over here, and close this pass, then we shall give you annual tribute, so that, this can compensate you for what you do for us. قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي خَيْرٌ. He said, whatever my Lord has given me is much better than what you can offer me as a tribute. I don't need any wealth, no tribute. Again the character, the moral character of the person is, I think, just the same as of the prophets of Allah or awliya Allah, some very pious person. قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي خَيْرٌ. What my Lord has given me is much better than what you can offer me in tribute. فَعِينُونِي بِقُوَّةٍ. But help me with manpower, labor. Come on, work with me. أَجْعَلْ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ رَدْمًا. I will build between you and them a wall. This wall which he created between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, between the cities of Daryan and Darband, there was a gap. And this gap was filled by a wall which he built 50 miles long, 29 feet high, 10 feet broad at the top. Just like the dam, Mangala Dam and Tarbela Dam. What happens? A mountain this side, mountain this side. And here you erect a wall. This is the dam. This dam is now, the flow of the river is hampered, and now an artificial lake is created, and there is the water reservoir. Bangla and Tarbela both. But in the same way, he erected a wall over there. Atuni Zubar al-Hadid, he said, bring to me pieces of iron. Hatta idha saba baina sadafain. They fully gap with these pieces of iron. So that when they are leveled up, the gap is finished. Qalan furhum. Then he said, blow in it. Make it a fire. Hatta idha ja'alahu naran. When it was a fire. Qala atuni ufiq alayhi qitra. Now bring to me molten brass that I pour over it. So to say, it was the reinforced concrete structure. First, pieces of iron. Then they were made red hot. Then molten brass was poured. So it became a very, very important, very strong structure. They will not be able, neither they will be able to scale it, come over it, nor they will be able to pierce it. Qala hadha rahmatun min Rabbi. And he said, this is all the mercy of my Lord. I don't claim any credit for it. I don't boast of anything. Qala hadha rahmatun min Rabbi. This is the mercy of my Lord. فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي جَعَلَهُ دَكًّا دَكَّا وَكَانَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي حَقًّا. When the command of my Lord will come, then this will become a powder. This strong thing that I have made, it will not remain. It will become a powder. And the promise of my Lord is going to be true. It is going to happen. At one time, it will not be there, and it is now not there. There are some remains at that place. That is why the name of the Darband. Darband means in Persian, where the door has been closed. Darband. So Darband is the name of that place, where this wall existed. But now there is no wall. It has gone.